This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And fresh off of a plane at 2:30 today, actually. We got with us our crew. First of all, where are all the buttons at? Here we go. We got from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, PA. He's a gadget guru at Big Bank International Esquire. He is John Chichilla, back off of the week after a week hiatus.
I was on the hiatus, but I'm just like it's like alphabet soup out here. We're the C and the big D, JKLM, and my name, my initials are JKC. We can just make it all blend together.
Also with us from Big Mac International Esquire, he's back on because last week we basically had all the Wrestling Mayhem people fill in for everybody that was out. But back with us, Crazy Kraus. Joining us.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir. Doing? Hello. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Always welcome. Always welcome. You're a core crew at this point. Like between you and Podner and Riz hops in every once in a while. Like you guys are like it's not just like it's not just the Dutters and Chilla show anymore. It's just like I do like the rotating guests because it does keep things fresh too, right? So
yeah, well, it gives you different perspectives too.
We're not talking about the same thing all the time, and this is like we got a nice like kind of 5 or 6 people rotating. This is great. This is fantastic. So, but yeah.
I have to ask a question, and I apologize. Like, how many places did you travel to
this week?
Yeah, like it was like the Tour de Sorg.
Well, that was all just Dallas.
Oh, was it? Okay, But were you between hotels?
Yeah, no, we changed hotels because we worked for the first part of the day. So okay, for those back, Actually, I should explain this after we get done with the business because it actually parlays into one of my awesome things of the week. So if we could we'll put a pin in that for a moment, Shilla, and then ask me that question again. But anyways, go check out everything at AwesomeCast.com. Hit up AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.com for comments and any opportunities you want to hit us up with at AwesomeCast on the Twitter. And of course, we are live streaming on the Facebook, YouTube, Sorgatron Media, Twitch, and is that everything? Twitter. We're also on Twitter as well, where you can join us live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Great conversation on the Facebook page on Facebook and the AwesomeCast Discord. We do also have a Reddit if you'd like to contribute to that. We're still figuring out the Reddit. And also you can subscribe to the Sorgatron Media Master Feed for even more of our amazing podcasts. And of course, we are here, as I mentioned, every Tuesday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And also thank you to our audio partners telling people about us over at postindustrial.com. And a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast. Thank you to our executive producer, giving a big awesome hug from me, Ryan Crawford, joining us there. And at the Coffee Club level, our friends Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. And at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Pointer. This really should just be like an opening crawl of executive producers or something. Like when I'm sorry, I was watching Lucifer, so I think about the credits at the beginning of like your typical primetime television show, I suppose. So you guys can support the show as well, patreon.com/awesomecast. Help keep the AwesomeCast rolling and help us keep going on things. So let's get into it. So I guess I'll start with that. I'll answer your question now, Shilla. Once again, you said you're what the hell happened this week was basically a thing, right?
Because I didn't even know, and then maybe I'm just geographically challenged.
Mm-hmm.
I saw your one picture, and you were outside the AT&T Stadium.
Yes.
And I didn't know where the AT&T Stadium was. So I had to Google where is AT&T Stadium, and then the next thing I know, like the next post, like I see you're moving hotels. So I'm like,
yep.
And you're talking about flights and
the hotel thing, I think I tweeted that confusingly because the hotel problem was because all the flights got canceled from Southwest again, and so it filled all the hotels. I showed up to my reservation and they didn't have rooms ready yet because there was so many people they couldn't turn them over because they were sold out the night before, like kind of surprisingly. So that's what that was. That was me waiting like an extra hour past the 3 o'clock check-in time because they weren't ready for it. So I was a little annoyed about that. But I was down there working on WrestleCon. Our friend Mike Moran with Ember to Ashes, E2A Productions. Of course, when I'm doing like the pay-per-views for like MMA and some of the higher wrestling shows, or through him, right? He kind of assigns me and gives and everything like that. So he was covering this thing called The Collective. I was covering something the WrestleCon's wrestling shows. It was all on Fight TV, all these things. There was another guy that's like kind of the me out in St. Louis that was covering the Fight kind of Sports Center-y thing where they're just doing interviews with all the wrestlers all weekend, and you're in the entranceway to this WrestleCon thing, and it's a convention. Like there's people there, tables, like you get your autographs. Like anybody you can think of is there from the wrestling world. Like you guys are probably have somebody like I'm walking by and there's the Godfather and the Rock and Roll Express at the bar. I walk in the front door and there's Britt Baker from AEW that just dropped the women's title here from Pittsburgh. And I got my Brit hug. So like it's like a wrestling reunion for everything. So we were doing production there Thursday through Friday morning's show. We did about 6 shows. That's including AAA New Japan, Impact Wrestling, live streaming, and some TV. TV tapings. Like one of the things we shot will be on Access TV for Impact Wrestling this Thursday, I believe. And Missy was with me and recording. And so we were staying with that crew at the Work Hotel. But we did also get tickets to WrestleMania and the Raw after Mania. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we had to go get our own hotel for our stuff, right? After they left. They took off and came home. And it was like, I don't even know how many production people that have been doing wrestling that brought in our friends at New Force City, Go Professional Wrestling came in. So I got to meet a lot of people, on top of the production people from New Japan and, back with Impact Wrestling. I worked with them several years ago, so it's good to see them again. A lot of ex-WWE people involved in here. So it's like when you talk production, it's like the people that have done it at the top level and they're doing it here. And I learned a lot from a lot of them. Seth at High Spot, shout out to him. Patrick from New Japan. America. So it was a lot of really cool stuff there. So that's the lay of what was going on, why it looked like I was just all over the place, because I was just in the greater Dallas area. And then I go to LA this weekend for Our Design. So
oh, nice.
Yeah.
So did they purposely put WrestleCon right up against?
So here's what happens.
WrestleMania
So WrestleMania happens, and WrestleMania is like the entire weekend, all the shows happening. I think they have a convention center access thing for WWE, but then all the other promotions, and I'm not even independent, all the other promotions. There's a WrestleCon, and then there's I should show you the list. Look up Phil Stamper. We shared it at Just Pro Wrestling News on Twitter. But there was 100 other shows. Between us, I think the collective was about 20 shows. It was 4 shows a day for 3 days. That doesn't add up. But between that and WrestleCon, we did 20 shows just amongst our productions group. And then there were multiple shows because everybody's come in from all over the world for WrestleMania. And everybody's capitalizing and trying to get the rub. They've been doing this for 10 years, at least.
So this is kind of like they're trying to get exposure for their programs off the back of.
This is a pro wrestling holiday, right? Basically, and everybody's coming. And everybody else is like, well, I'm going to go to WrestleMania, but I'm going to go to WrestleCon before that instead of the Access because I want to see all the rest of the wrestling stuff, and they're going to present what they do. Right? You've never seen a New Japan show. You've never seen Impact Wrestling. You've never seen AAA or some of these other promotions that are doing things. Now you have a chance. I've always heard about AIW from Cleveland had a show down there in Tampa a few years ago, I think it was.
So are they selling tickets to those shows, or are they just open?
They're all ticketed. And they're all on and most of them are on pay-per-view on Fight. So you could buy these $170, $140 packages that have all this and the interviews and the con stuff. And it's just this, just a lot going on. So around WrestleMania plus WrestleMania itself, that of course is huge. They packed 70-some thousand people in that stadium for 2 nights straight, plus SmackDown in the Hall of Fame on the one night, another show Saturday afternoon, and Monday night for Raw. So and plus the access in the Superstore and the exclusive merchandise you can buy there. And I'm wearing a WrestleMania shirt if you guys are on audio. So it's a really incredible. It takes over the whole city. And it was a hell of an experience. I haven't been there since 29. It's much bigger than when I went there. And I got to have a better experience than that time because I was kind of there for work and it was just really just not fun to go because of the weather and everything in 29 because it was in New York, New Jersey, a giant stadium, right? So, but I do have some tech that comes out of that, and that's what we're getting around to. Here's the background for it. So I went and one thing I noticed, a couple things with this. There was a WrestleMania app. You can download it now. It's not going to do too much at this moment, okay? Because it is let's say we're just talking about WWE. It's kind of just an all-inclusive experience. You got to figure out, okay, which venue is this event at? How do I get there? What is the bag policy of this venue versus this venue? All that kind of stuff. So if I can pull up a little bit here, I knew this was all kind of timely. So I tried to take some screen caps of it while we were going. So let's say I think we're pretty good here. There's my phone if you're with us, and at least I can show you what the app looks like kind of generally here, but you do get a pretty cool video introduction when you open the app, and there's the big Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and this is it, and you have the events listing. Of course, there's not much, now because all the events are over, and they just have little placeholders for what's coming up next, but they're just fun stuff. Like, for instance, you can still get with Grubhub and everything these smackadillas. They're quesadillas you can buy. We got some, by the way. There's a little video of Missy and I unboxing these things. And this is like Mr. Beast Burger, right? It's the Ghost Kitchen thing, and they're quesadillas, and they're all named they're all named after like the championship crunch, chicken versus ranch, Powerbomb pizza. Now I'm getting hungry again. I didn't grab our pizza yet. Onion rumble, cheesy chicken, it's like all themed, but it's in like the Dallas Fort Worth area where we would be for WrestleMania, right? But then when you're at the event, when we went into the stadium, we could order, and this I think is a stadium thing. We could order food and have them. It was like Grubhub for the stadium, and they could bring it to your seat. There was like a $15 charge. There was like basically $10 in extra charges on top of it, but you're in the stadium. By the way, I gotta say, Cowboy Stadium has the most incredible food I've ever seen. You walk in this mezzanine, and there's like gourmet food. It's like a $20 sandwich. I took a picture of it here somewhere, but it's like cheesy griddle stuff. There's seafood. My buddy that goes to all the stadiums to watch high school games has been there several times for championship games, high school championship games. He's from up here. He travels. He's a trucker. And it's just like, get the brisket nachos. Like, even just the ultimate nachos were the most incredible, like, stadium arena nachos I've ever experienced. Okay. Jeez, I'm still getting hungry just thinking about this. But yeah, but I feel bad because you get your order and the person comes through and they kind of plow right through the aisle to get to you in the middle. So it's kind of rough. I did take a picture of, hopefully I got it right here. I was kind of astonished that I'm sitting up there. We're at AT&T Stadium. On the back of these guys' shirts for the food delivery, it says, powered by AT&T 5G, right? But I don't know, guys. I didn't get much 5G sitting in my seats in the 200 level. I got 1 bar of 5G while we were sitting there in the stadium. So I don't know. Also, this is the first time between the airport and in the arena that I have seen a 5G plus insignia on my AT&T phone, which I do believe that's the shortwave that they deploy in large capacity places, because that's the point of it is when you have 100,000 people, the internet doesn't get killed because too many people are hitting it, right? Is that your understanding too? Is that what the 5G plus is?
I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen it.
I don't know if we have
it.
I've
never seen it either.
I don't know if we have it in this city, to be honest. I didn't see it at the arena a week ago because I was in Pittsburgh at the arena for Raw. But it was there, and I think it may have even been in the American Airlines arena on Monday night too. So, so we have that going on. I think I got a few more app shots here of some of the stuff they had going on. You can order, and they actually have this at the arena too. You can order merch to go pick up, and there's like an entire interactive map of everything you would need to know for the event. Or, well, no, those are just my tickets. It's really good. It was a really good experience using the app, getting the information, looking. Hey, what's the bag policy over here? Where are all these events going on? Here's another shot of it. I took a screenshot of. There's a note before you go. Stuff for their access. Again, stuff about the events and the venues and everything like that. It was a nice hi. If I'm all in on this WWE weekend multi-event thing, now I can follow along with this, and it updated as it went. It didn't just have old information for Friday's show or anything like that. And of course they're advertising, as I said, the Ghost Kitchen kind of stuff. So it was pretty incredible. It was an incredible experience to be at something. I got to experience, again, the Giant Stadium thing, and it just, for 29, and this is WrestleMania 38, and just being in some place with 70-some thousand people was just an experience in general. I'll talk about this more on the Wrestling Mayhem show, but when I walked in and I saw the set, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of this stuff from WrestleMania and how big this thing is, but I walked in, and let's see if I can throw this up here. There's a little bit of the set there. I walked in, and you can kind of on the kind of mezzanine thing, look out and see this giant set situation, right? I looked, and I looked to my left, and there was a woman crying, looking out at it, and I'm just that's me on the inside right now, because it is really just if you're a wrestling fan, it's just kind of this is the biggest thing you can attend, right? and that was really cool. But again, a lot of technology around it too, around those experiences and everything like that.
So Sorg, I gotta ask,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe this is because my brain is still work at home post COVID. What was it like being around that many people?
Not
You know what I mean? Because I don't know how I would deal. Because it's funny because the wife and I have gone to a couple of our plays. That we were subscribers to the PNC Broadway series.
Yeah.
We've been to one or two shows, and it's not that they've been uncomfortable or anything, but it's different now being in a large crowd.
Absolutely.
And then for you to say, "Oh yeah, I was
70,000 people, no big deal." Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I don't know how I would deal with that."
I gotta say, for me personally, I'm not a COVID is over person necessarily, but I also have done several events with several hundred people in them, right? Between boxing pay-per-views, MMA pay-per-views, pro wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I'm regularly around rooms full of 500 people. So I've kind of settled back into normalcy. And I'm vaxxed, I'm boosted, I'm all that stuff, try and take care of myself, so I'm better better handling things, because regardless of what we do, you're going to get exposed, right, at this point. And this is my job, and this is what I do, and I have to be around people, and I chose to be around people for WrestleMania, obviously. And and you think about that, but I mean, again, I've been doing so much traveling over the last year and so many events. It was no big thing. I'm kind of over it, personally. That's me, and I know that's not everybody, and and other people have different concerns and stuff too. But for me, it was just, and I was somebody who, listen, I'm somebody who was having a panic attack sitting in a Walmart in Flagstaff, Arizona, in November 2020. Okay, right. So I was affected. So I'm not somebody. I never thought I would go to a WrestleMania again after that. Right?
Yeah.
But it's and there's people wearing masks. There's a smattering of people in the audience and at WrestleCon and some of the event staff and everything like that. So I mean, it's there, but I think that's the level that's going to be. I think the majority are just going to be like, here we go, and those that need to take care of themselves will. And but yeah, it was kind of the big like.
Were there a lot of masks? Did you see a lot of masks at the show?
I would say, I mean, I feel like it was a 10% kind of masking.
Okay.
We're talking about Texas, and they have.
Well, no, but it's a very international event. So
that is true too. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's why I was just curious if you see a lot of masks.
I think if you were okay to travel. By the way, I ended up getting seated by a lot of Brits. Several of these nights. If you're somebody who's already okay to travel across country or internationally at this point, you're probably okay. You're probably okay with the concept of doing this, right? So and again, it's each their own. I completely, absolutely understand anybody's like, I couldn't be there. Like, I'm not good for it, and also, hey, take care of yourself. If you're like, I shouldn't be around this, I can't be exposed to this, it's not worth it for this. Absolutely. And I know I'm taking a risk. I know I'm taking a risk. I can pick this up, and have to deal with it again. But, it's that's a choice. That's a choice I'm making. So for something like this, I guess I'm in the I'm not gonna let it stop me, live kind of camp right now.
No, and we're vaxxed too. We got all 3 shots and everything.
And your comfort level is your own.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. So, but anyways, no, it was great with that. No issues for that or anything like that. But anyway, I'm worried about the older wrestlers being exposed to people. So some of those guys. But so that was it. That was kind of the fun thing, and I got another travel thing, but I want to get to other things before we do that. So let's roll on to Kraus. You got another. I feel like you love putting your shameless plugs in here lately. I will allow it. I will allow it because they're usually very cool and worth talking about. No. Well, absolutely. If you can't plug yourself on a podcast, what are we even doing here?
Yeah. Well, the Makerspace in Stowe Township, just search for the Focus on Renewal,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find the flyer. But we got a laser, Sorg.
Lasers.
Yes, and it's it's freaking awesome. it's a Glowforge Plus, and we started last week. We actually just got it set up. We had to buy a filtration system for it because the Focus on Renewal was not willing to drill a hole and to vent this thing out to the outside world because it is a laser. And so we had to actually buy a filtration system and get that installed. And it's amazing. I'm very excited.
Is that what I'm looking at in this link over here?
Yes.
Okay. So
that's why I gave that link.
That's the wrong one. Sorry, I'm still connected to the wrong phone. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I want to let people know. I looked this thing up to find out how much it costs. It's $5,000 to buy this thing.
That's why you got a great organization.
And here you go. And now it's free. And you can have access to this tool. We had a guy tonight bring in a giant hunk of leather, and we wound up cutting out some pieces using a laser and leather. It was pretty freaking cool. So, if anybody's interested, look us up. Every Tuesday night.
So this is a crack cut on like steroids or something, right? Is that what I'm seeing here?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
All right. And, so,
and we have the Glowforge Plus. That's the one we have.
Glowforge Plus. So. That's this guy here.
The air filter is $1,300.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And it sounds like a jet engine. You should hear it when I turn it on. I'll have to record the room when you turn it. It's like, wow. Yeah.
I love it. We got to do a tour sometime. I gotta come down with a camera and we just show me around this kind of situation here. There's a little bit of video of this in action apparently. Oh, we're about to see the lasers. Here they come. Holy crap, that's awesome.
It's really cool.
It's just like a printer with a laser. That's great. Just a little head just going around, shooting around. That's fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, it really is cool. Look at that, what she built there. That's just good. See, now that's the problem I have. I am a tech guy. I am not a creative. You know what I mean? My wife is a creative. So I like working on the troubleshooting, the setting up, the figuring things out. I need to start tapping into the creative side of myself. I don't know. But it's great. Like you can literally take a PDF, load it into the Glowforge software, and tell it, okay, I wanna cut this line, I wanna burn this line, and it'll do all this stuff. It's fascinating, and it all works out of a website, a web page. It's amazing.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Let's like somebody's just like making something with. Hold on, like she made it something. She just drew it with like a Sharpie.
Yep.
and made it cut out into these like these die cut. Wait, why did she throw her laptop in there? What's about to happen?
Because she is going to.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait. She threw her MacBook Pro in this device. And then it recognizes it's a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and then you were is it lasering the top of the MacBook itself?
Actually, yes, it's lasering. It's an etching. Yeah, it's etching.
Holy hell!
Just like how you can get like your AirTag engraved with the emoji or your phone.
You can just do it yourself.
It's the same
basic thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I got a handful of AirTags. I need to figure out where to put them. I got one for my dog's collar. I got one for my luggage, and now I'm like, which of the rest of the hardware needs an AirTag? It's just like what's more important, right now. So
Sorg, we could put SM Media, your little tag there on your AirTags.
For your logo.
Well, listen, we've been getting stickers because we're marking our friends at E2A and the Sidekick hardware. Can we just, I don't know, laser the cameras with the logos or something to mark them so they don't walk away. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm not going to put random cameras in a laser machine to see what happens, but I would like to know if that's a possibility. So,
I'll let you know.
I love just drop a sidekick media surface across the side of a camera, in a really cool kind of deal. But that's probably a little too much, isn't it? So. Oh, that's awesome. So go check it out. So you guys got it over to Stow Rocks, and of course, and glowforge.com is if you want to look into more information on that, if you got the budget for it. Chilla, tell me, you want to capture something.
So if you're from, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with these devices, right?
Yes.
Elgato.
Love them.
I have a large love for pretty much anything Elgato.
I can tell you the Elgato Camlink 4K has saved productions, has saved very expensive productions where hardware has gone sideways. We run to a Best Buy and grab one, and it saves the day. And it's happened twice to me now. They're great devices.
Can you be honest with me? Have any of your Elgato devices failed?
After a while, I do. The first Camlink that we bought for a project back in last June started getting a little wonky, like the HDMI connector wasn't good. So that has been a thing. But generally, they have been good devices as it is. But also, like, everything gets thrown into stuff, and like there's a lot of wear and tear on my hardware because of the on location situations. So, but that's not what they're built for. That's and
I do feel like I haven't had one fail yet, and I mean, other than just throwing the device kind of in a backpack on its own, or in its own little cloth thing.
Yeah,
I had pretty good luck with them.
I keep the box now. It's like it doesn't leave the box anymore. It doesn't get thrown in the bin of random devices anymore. It just gets left in the box. It will not leave the box. That's how I know it's a lot of space for this little dongle, but it will get protected. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. So they announced, I think it was today. This is the first time I picked it up on a couple media outlets, but I just decided to use their link at elgato.com. They have released the Game Capture HD60X. I had the HD60S, and I think I had the HD something else.
I think I had the S. I lost it, but problem is little pieces of black plastic are really easy to lose everywhere, So, but other than that,
I like this device because if you remember the old ones, they were kind of like a large, very, very large pill shape, and the HDMIs were on opposite sides, and there was like the old USB, like it was the old model of USB. They moved everything to the one side of the device. It almost makes it look like it should go on a shelf. And it's USB-C. That's how it's powered. And then you have your HDMI in, your HDMI out. They had a very nice 4K device, but it only worked with Windows. This device works pretty much across all platforms. Windows, Mac. They have some stuff that they talk about recording off a PlayStation, but they have some decent software. You can archive your entire personal library, but this will pretty much allow you to capture, stream, record pretty much anything that's running over an HDMI. I've done the PlayStation, I've done the Xbox, I've done iPads, I've done other computers. Super nice equipment, super easy to use. The only thing I would recommend is if you're using what did I run into? On the PlayStation, I had to turn off, is it HDCP? It's some kind of copy protection. Oh
yeah. That's an issue with, we've had that problem with Xboxes for a while where we have PlayStation and Xbox. Anytime somebody brings them in, it's like, hey, turn on. Is HDCP is the copy protection, usually for movies, I think. But yeah, you usually have to kill that. And with that 60S, that we had to do that. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm super happy with these devices. I am probably going to pick this up. This device does support variable refresh rates. So newer, higher-end hardware is going to change the refresh rate. I've seen it happen a little bit with the iPad Pro, where like you can get some tearing and some weird things because it does a variable refresh rate.
Yep.
This is supposed to compensate for that. These devices do have a faster pass-through rate. I'd be interested, in the olden days, you could play the game, but you felt like you were a little sluggish.
Right.
If you were just watching the video off of the capture.
Yeah.
This is supposed to get, closer to real time. It does support HDR as well. So even if you didn't have an HDR device to watch it, you could probably pump it through this and record in HDR. But I don't know. I'm super, super excited about this device.
I dig it. No, yeah, those devices are always really good. Elgato's always been really solid stuff. You'd be surprised how much like gaming stuff like XSplit and Elgato I see on other people's productions sometimes. So it's really interesting. Go check that out, Elgato.com. And that's announced, it's not released yet, correct?
I did not click the. It's announced. I think you can buy it from their site.
Okay, and it's a $199.
I just don't know when it ships.
Yeah. Let's see if I got anything on that. $199, add to cart, or you can get it it says you can get it from Best Buy as well. So
I'm surprised it's not on. I did not see it on Amazon yet. I did check that.
They might have not onboarded it yet. So, all right. Hey, let's give a shout out to our friends over at Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com, New York City style. Yins are made. This is supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza in Beachview, Carnegie, East End, and the North Hills. 4 locations in the greater Pittsburgh area. And I know you guys love some great Pittsburgh pizza. Go check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com. Supporting our shows. Supporting when we have our guests in this evening. Where I'm actually picking up after this for our Wrestling Mayhem show guests that are coming in for our post-WrestleMania wrap-ups. Thank you so much for them for supporting the show for a good long time over at Slice on Broadway. Big fans of them. Hey, I want to talk about, so I actually ran into another awesome thing today I'd like to share with you guys. And let's see if I got the video ready over here. I was in, we were waiting to, well, we saw it when we were walking in, and we're like, okay, we got to get some video of this on our way out. So, and this actually had some new stuff that I hadn't heard terribly much about. But I got to, let me get this guy queued up over here. I got to, so, there's like Hudson News in every airport, right? Your general kind of convenience story kind of spot. Well, there was a Hudson nonstop one, and it was this was one of those like Amazon Go style pick up and goes, but this one is under Amazon One. I don't know if that's new branding for maybe Amazon Go, but they have a thing out front to sign up, link your account, so read your palm to your Amazon One account. You put your palm over the reader. It opens the gate. There is an attendant there to help people with it. You go in, pick up your things, walk out the gate, and your stuff is paid for on the card that you lined it up with. And that's it. That's it. I walked in twice and spent $10 both times. They're just little goodies.
So where do you do your original palm scan?
Yeah, that's what I want.
There's another small kiosk with a device like that, like actually right behind where I'm walking in. So I actually didn't take a picture of that. Well, I don't think I took a lot of video of that kind of thing because I didn't want to get my information on there. But yeah, so it does both palms, and actually, if I log in with my Amazon One account, which is linked to my Amazon account, it tells you which palms are red. Have they read both of them? And also I want to counter because this is if you're concerned about privacy and security. And it did make me pause before I decided to just go ahead and dive in and try this. You are giving your palm print to Amazon with this. Amazon now has that. Now, in reverse, because I've had this conversation with people like, I don't want to use them fingerprints or on my iPhone. Well, also remember, on the iPhone, Apple does not have access to your thumbprint. It's on a chip.
Right, because it's stored on the phone. Yeah, right on the
It's
device.
on a chip on the phone in a secure enclave, they call it. So, like, you're not giving that away to Apple. Now, in the case of Amazon, this is now in their database, and this is one conversation I have seen about this, is now Amazon has that if somebody hacks Amazon, which
they got you. Yeah.
They got your palm print. I can't change the password on my hand, guys. So this is a security issue. And now I'm the guinea pig.
So this means now anytime you run across one of these stores anywhere in the country, you can do the Jedi mind trick here.
I can Jedi mind trick and roll right into one of these stores, and there you
buy
are.
Your stuff, and there you go. Okay. That's
so
it's neat. I got to say it. I would probably have done it too.
Other than that, yes, there's a security concern, and that's where they get us. Right?
Yeah.
They're like, it's really easy. It's really convenient. I can buy things a lot easier. Not have to worry about taking my card and even doing the watch thing and hoping the thing works, right? It just kind of works. And now they got me and they got my palm. Actually, you do see at the end, hold on a second. You were asking about that. And so at the end here, when you see me walk out, you actually see that's the kiosk right in the front. Pay, enter identity, all with that. Like there's a little sign up kind of process. And all it did was, honestly, like I went into it. I don't think I even typed in my email address. I think I just put my card in it, and it knew it belonged to my Amazon account. Maybe there was a phone number. I can't remember. You're just like, and I'm just like, oh, that was way too easy. That was far too easy.
I've never thought about it because, like you said, the iPhone, no matter pretty much any of those devices aren't storing. They're not shipping your fingerprint or a numerical representation of your fingerprint anywhere.
Right.
And I'm not like a genetic person or a biologist or whatever. Do twins have the same fingerprint or palm print?
I don't know.
Like if you're an identical twin? I'm just thinking.
I
think
would
it's
say
different.
no. Yeah.
I'd say no. I'd say no. They still develop individually. You know what I mean? They start, they start from similar. It's not the same, but similar genetic material and grow out from there, right? So.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned the whole palm print thing, I'm really surprised Amazon just didn't build something into their app where, you click a button, maybe you hold your phone screen up, it dings you passed, and you know what I mean?
Isn't that
the whole palm print thing? Or is that, I guess, safer because it's your palm?
It was so. I think the Amazon Go was that. I think it was you bring up the app, do the thing,
Yeah.
For the Go stores, this is Amazon One. I've never heard of that term before, so that's new. And now I so I don't know. So and I think we read about this happening at airports. Like I think we did talk about a story several months ago about these happening at some airports.
Isn't there what's the service where you kind of the fast? It's not fast pass. What's the quick check?
Clear that uses your eyeball. Same thing.
There's another one that does the palm. I think there's another one that does the palm.
Oh really? Oh, maybe Clear does that as well. But it's biometrics. I thought it was the eyes, but it could be a palm as well. But once again, do you trust Clear? Who is Clear? What they now have your information, and once again, it's information that you can't change now if it gets hacked. If your palm or your eye print or your whatever that's being used that's linked to your bank account comes up, it's like, what do you do now, right? So. Which that is the concern. That is the thing that needs to be thought of, and everything. So, but anyways.
So I looked up twins share the same genetic blueprint, and to a standard DNA test, they're indistinguishable.
Okay.
But identical twins do not have matching fingerprints.
Okay. So you can DNA frame your twin for a crime, but not fingerprint frame your twin for a crime. He's thinking about that.
That's and I'm trying to read more. There's like a life science article.
I love with Zoom when you're just sitting there thinking about that, and it just looks like, I'm like, I don't know, Zoom crashed, or is he just in thinky face mode? You know what? I don't know the difference anymore. So because
it looks like Amazon
like
One
Chilla,
is a service.
like
that
Chilla, Chilla, have I physically seen you in the last 2 years? I don't think so. So
yeah, I don't think so.
I think we talked about these before. Like Krause, I don't think I've seen in 2 years either. So because I had no idea he lost all the weight that he talked about like several months ago. So, anyways, other than that, all right, what are we doing on time here? Tell me about Krause. Tell me about what Game Pass is doing, and this is actually something I've been looking forward to because
and actually, Chilla, I think you're going to be excited for this. They're saying that Game Pass is going to finally move forward and have a family plan.
But what does that mean versus what I get kind of now?
Well, yeah, and they don't actually say, but it's basically sharing your Game Pass subscription with your entire family, I guess. Although, how does that work for you now? And maybe you don't want to say that out loud. I don't know.
No, so it's out of the box. So I didn't do anything special. I know there are tips, tricks, and nuggets, where you can share your library with a non-family member.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into that here, how you do that. But so here's what I figured out. And it's actually rather difficult. It took me a long time to figure it out. And to me, this is legitimate. I didn't do anything special. I have 2 Xboxes.
Mm-hmm.
They're both marked as my primary, like, Xboxes. Like none of them are marked as like, how you can set it where this isn't my primary. They're both marked as my primary devices. If Christopher and I, and you've played right with us, if Christopher and I want to play Halo, it took me a good day to figure it out. I logged in as me to both devices. I installed Halo. He could be logged in because you know how you can have 2 people simultaneously logged into a machine, like if you want to play Minecraft Dungeons.
Yep.
So we played Minecraft Dungeons the one day, everything was great. I went over to the second Xbox, fired it up, started up Halo, got him into Halo as him. As soon as I launched Halo on a second Xbox, it said you're already logged in on another device. On one of the devices, it doesn't matter which, I just have to log out and leave him logged in. I can't be logged into to 2 devices simultaneously.
Okay.
But as long as I log out of one of them and he's only logged into that one and I'm only logged into the other one.
But still lets him into the Game Pass game because your account is still on it?
I guess, and I
technically
own the install.
Don't forget, too, the Halo game is technically a free-to-play game.
Yeah, multiplayer. Yeah.
The
This
multiplayer.
is the full game. This is the full. Well, yeah, I guess it'll. I wonder if it can tell, like, once you're in the game, what you're actually going into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
but curious. I haven't had. But he doesn't have a problem launching anything else when I do that.
But see, I have always thought that because back in the day when Drew and I lived in the same house and we had one Xbox, all the games were purchased under my live account.
Mm-hmm.
But his live account was on my Xbox, and he could play all of
all your games.
My game.
That sharing that happens has been a thing. So absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm interested in what this will actually get me.
This will give you. Yes,
yeah.
And I guess the second question I'm going to ask is, what does it cost me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good question too.
Yeah, what is the uptick? So here, I think the bigger concern here is because you can have those on there. Like, not everybody has 2 Xboxes like Chilla. Let's put that as an outlier situation, right? But I want to. Krause is just laughing at that one.
He just told up 3. He said 3.
3 of them. Oh, okay. Sorry. Real outlier situation. I got 2 Xbox 360s, but that's because somebody found one at a thrift store and gave them to me. But anyways, also an outlier, I would feel. But so I think the bigger question on this is like, yeah, we're all on one Xbox. We can play the game. You're logged in the Xbox One. We all have access to it. Great, right? But the concern is cloud. I really want Missy to be able, my wife to be able to play some of these games. I think she would love them. And some of them, do the phone thing, do the playing it on your computer here at the office, kind of thing. Hey, why don't you jump into this game with us and we'll play it together, kind of thing. Fighting games,
right.
When Tekken's on there, right, or something, right, or Minecraft, dungeons, that kind of situation. Cloud is a login, and you're you, and you can't be another person. That's where I feel the family plan becomes important, because now I can pay for my family plan for everybody in the household, and we're on the road with our iPhones on 5G. We can both play Halo, Tekken, whatever together, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem I'm concerned with. So that's...
How much are you willing to pay for that service, Sorg?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. So I mean, but if you're telling me I'm going to pay, you tell me I'm going to pay like $5 more a month to do that on the 15 I already am. I'm not opposed to that. Also, it's going to be like up to 4 people. Maybe that's not economical for me because I just have one wife, as opposed to more wives. No, but you know what I mean.
I only have one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we all.
All right, everybody did a check-in. Okay, but still, you guys have kids. So
no, you're right.
That's where it's important. That's the family. That's your nuclear family that we're talking about here.
And that's the reason that I will only buy, for the most part, I will only buy on the Nintendo Switch. I will only buy Nintendo exclusives, or if it's multiplayer, it needs to be multiplayer on the same device. So, like, if you ever played Mario Party, all 4 people are playing on one Switch.
Because you had the Game Boy problem, right? Where everybody needed a copy of Tetris in order to play.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
Like,
because they love it. Because they
ridiculous.
sell more copies of Tetris. So, sure. Right? Or Dr. Mario or whatever. Like, I remember that.
I have digital downloads, and I've thought, oh, well, if I got him his own device.
Right.
But now I got to buy now I need a second copy of Mario Kart, and I need a second copy of. Like, I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, it's
flag
not.
on the play. I agree.
Flag on the play.
That's a money-making scheme. Yeah, it's wrong.
But and to me, their family plan is too expensive.
Yeah.
For online for what you get. I mean, there's no voice chat. Come on.
Well, that's why I've been out on Nintendo for a little bit. Oh boy. Although I was looking at 3DSs, I'm like, maybe I'll get the old console, it'll be good. And I looked at the price of 3DSs, and they're as much as a Switch.
No, like now I picked up Star Wars Skywalker Saga on Switch. 2 reasons. It's only couch play, 2-player at a time. There's no online on any system. There's no online 2-player across multiple devices play.
Yeah.
And I can now take that with the Switch pretty much anywhere. And my other theory is that sooner or later it will be added to Game Pass, so I'll have a copy for the Xbox too.
Absolutely. Oh boy. Well, anyways, so it's a lot. Well, we're almost at pumpkin time here, so guys. Hey, first of all, real quick, we actually had a lot of chat activity that I've been ignoring, and I feel bad about that because there was a lot, especially earlier when we were talking about WrestleMania. Like Steve saying, only 70,000 people. They didn't sell out. The football stadium holds 121 for football. Also, remember between stage set and it was 2 nights, and I would imagine because of COVID, I would imagine we still have a downturn, right? Like not everybody's coming out that would be normally, I would think. So even the arena wasn't terribly, like, the one side had a lot of, like, the non-TV side where they had that side did not have it had a lot of open seats, So Kraus, are you using air quotes when saying laser?
Yeah, definitely.
Laser. Sharks with lasers. Can you mount this thing to a shark? Can you laser etch a shark? These are the important questions I need to know. We can do this for Patreon sometimes, probably. So,
well, you know what, too, Sorg, because of the way the filming happens. I don't know, like the last time I was at a Garth Brooks concert was years ago. My wife loves Garth Brooks. Part of the stadium was blocked because of the set. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't fill a certain section of seats because they would be blocked by all of the, pomp and circumstance and everything that happened. So could that be why they didn't fill it to capacity?
I did see a bit of empty seats. There were like 3 empty seats beside us in the 200s, for instance.
I was trying to give
no.
WWE the benefit of the doubt.
I'm pretty sure there could have been a lot more. I think I can't. I literally some of the seats were so high I couldn't tell you if they were for or not. So it's a huge place. It's a big place, man. Yeah. It's a big place. And Stevie says he wasn't impressed with some of the amenities when he went there in 2011. Bro, I don't know where you've been going or if it's been like terribly upgraded in the last 10 years over there. But, man, it was like I've never seen an experience like this at a football or arena stadium. Like what the food.
I drove past it.
Yes.
And it was I was impressed just driving past the
And it's
building.
not even – you walk in on the 200 level. The football field's down into it. It's even big. It's bigger on the inside.
It's huge. Yeah, it's a giant building.
It's crazy. My friend, I ran into my friend Eamon and his partner. He said he was there for the first event at Cowboy Stadium, which was the American Idol auditions. So that was the thing, and he hadn't been there since until we gave him the tickets over the weekend. So, but wow. I love that because he's somebody that's. Is not interested in football, would not go to a game, that I could tell. Amanda's over on the Twitch channel. Amanda Narcissi, our contributor to the show. We were talking about the Amazon One Hudson news thing earlier. It says, or is it like Whole Foods where you scan a QR code that links to your Amazon? And I think that might have been what the Amazon One stores were as well. I mean, it all links together and stuff. Obviously this is sort of a tech demo-ish thing that they did. So it was interesting.
Well, it looks to me, if you go to the Amazon One website, it looks to me like it's a service they're going to try to sell to other companies.
Yeah, this was the thing where it's like there's Amazon Go, and then this is the version of Amazon Go that we can put in your store, right?
Yeah, right.
As like a licensing opportunity. So, no, absolutely. I think that you're right. I think that was the story that we talked about before. And Amazon One, I actually didn't go to the site itself. It was just whatever the link was from my receipt, I guess. So yeah, this is a B2B thing.
Yeah, right. They're trying to sell a service. Yeah.
So maybe this will be a thing that you go and walk into 7-Eleven and it works. You know what I mean? Oh, here's all the Amazon One locations. A lot of them in Seattle, a lot of Washington. And there you go. Dallas Love Field was the other one. So, hey, tell you what, I'm going to Seattle at the end of the month. I don't know how much downtime I'm going to have, but I'm sure I'm going to run into something. I want to see the globe, like they have like giant balls or something that in the headquarters. We'll just leave you with the jokes out there in the audience and just move on from there. So either way, I'm sure I'll have more to talk about when we do that. Guys, thank you so much. Ron Krause, Crazy Krause with the K's over on social medias.
Yes, sir. I am Ron Krause on Facebook.
Excellent. And John Chilla at Chilla on the Twitters.
And John Chilla on the Facebook.
Yes. Thank you so much. Good to catch up with you guys and talk about my show you my slideshow. I kind of literally showed you a slideshow during the show, but it was fun. I'm going to Los Angeles this weekend with our friends at SA Aero Design, with our friends from Lockheed Martin. I'm sure I'll run into some fun stuff there that we can talk about. If there's anything in the Los Angeles area I should check out of an awesome nature, please let me know at Sorgatron on Twitter. We'll be out there. Dutters is actually coming along. She's going to be my photographer for the event as well. So Sorg and Dutters do the West Coast is going to be interesting. So the first of probably many trips that we're going to be doing this season across the country for some work. So we'll see what trouble we can get into. and if we can get back in one piece. So thank you, everybody that's been joining us for the show here in the chat rooms. Again, Steve and Podner in the Facebook, Amanda out on the Twitch, and everybody else. I saw the numbers going. I see you lurking out there in the chat room, guys. But we'll be back 7 p.m. Eastern Time next week. We'll see you guys then. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.